chop all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night Starcraft.
vVv Gaming. vVv hosting a team every week, $100 on the line for the winning team. Some great matchups so far. Obviously, this one of the most exciting, one of the most prestigious players, MarineKing Prime, playing against the ace of vVv in Time.
So yes, it is going to be an ace versus ace, Time versus MarineKing, and we'll see what Time does. Time didn't pull off any special tricks in his previous matchup against Hannibal, so he may have something in store. He didn't want to reveal it, as we now see MarineKing spawning as the red Terran at the 3 o'clock location, and Time giving the have fun spawning as the blue Protoss at the 7 o'clock location.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision in the last game. Time did not pull off any probes to try to hold. Instead, he just sacrificed that Nexus. We have seen him in the past, when he has faced that situation, pull off some probes, try to get a bit of surround, use those to tank some damage. But I really think that decision paid off for him in the fact that he had the economy to support the Immortals and those 4 gates when he eventually did push in. And I think eventually that decision won him the game.
Yeah, I really do think that helped him. It just bought him a lot of just time to figure out what he was going to do. Losing that Nexus, if you took a look at the overall loss tab, the losses were still pretty even at that point. And the fact that Hannibal didn't get up his command center, so he didn't have an economic advantage to try to pull from, really hurt him. And then as Time was able to just recoup and get up some Immortals, he got 3 to 4 Immortals. He got up the Guardian Shield just a little bit late. I would have loved to see it earlier, but it still did enough damage, broke down the bunkers, and he was able to almost, at that point, attack move to finish him off.
Hannibal also had a very late stim, which we saw in the game against Titan as well, so I think that might have been a factor. Definitely once you get stim up, the barracks versus gateway dynamic sort of switches, where the barracks units then have the advantage in small groups, as we see both players opening up pretty standard with the racks, gateways, and refineries and assimilators.
Yeah, so we'll see what's going to be happening here. The standard pylon there, we should be getting up a cybernetics core, transferring 3 probes in for Time. Meanwhile, in the base of MarineKing does have a refinery, so it does look like he is not going to be going for a mass marine build. I have seen MarineKing do that in the past, but perhaps he just wants gas for stim and combat shield. Only time will tell, or we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, obviously famous for his marine play, his marine splitting back in the first few seasons of GSL. MarineKing Prime really made a huge splash in the community, initially named Boxer after his idol, had to take on a new name and chose MarineKing just because of the style which he adopted. But we saw him do things with Marines which you'd never really seen before. He was able to use them effectively, even against their hard counters like Banelings.
Yeah, but we'll have to watch and really see what he's going to be doing here. You got to remember that MarineKing is playing from Korea, so there is a little bit more lag between Korea and the North American BattleNet servers, as we are now going into a factory, and also going into double gas. So it looks like MarineKing going to be opening up with, I believe, a fast Banshee. And perhaps with Cloak. I do not see a robotics facility coming in from Time, and that may be an issue as well. He normally does go 2-gate into a robotics facility in order to get that observer, and it will be very pivotal if he gets that observer up in time, and also gets the stalkers as the ground force.
Yeah, I was going to say that last game when he was going for that fast expand, he added that fast robotics, and he would have been able to defend against the Banshee. He had a lot of stalkers and sentries. He spent his early gas, and it looks like he's going to be going for kind of the same build here, as he's getting a probe down on the low ground, positioning here, waiting for those 400 minerals, and I imagine, yep, there's the Nexus will go up. So a 2-gate expand, and we should see a robo shortly from him as well.
Yeah, if he happens to miss that robo, I will just cry right now, because I want this game to go longer. I want to see a very, very heavy macro game between these two players. As the starport nearing completion, it will land. It looks like MarineKing does have a large amount of minerals and gas saved up already. He should be able to start training that Cloak, and then he will follow it up with a Banshee in just a moment.
So Cloak 110 seconds away, and we have seen no robotics yet from Time, so he's going to really need to get that up shortly, as the first Banshee on its way out, 60 seconds until that hits the field. So I imagine he's going to come out with the pretty standard 2 Banshees, hoping to do some economic damage here. Obviously, he will be behind on bases, as Time did get up this fast Nexus, but Time does have up the sentries and the stalkers to take on these these Banshees if he can get out an observer.
Yeah, the sentries, the stalkers now taking down that scouting SCV. This poor probe going to get taken down as well. So both sides losing their scouting units on this final game here. I know it is going a little bit later, but thank you guys for sticking with us so far. The earlier games did go a little bit long, as now Time is transferring probes over to the low ground, and he is going to have perhaps an economic advantage moving into the mid game.
Yeah, it is 28 to 26. Time has a little bit of an advantage, and I think he has this timed out perfectly, as Cloak is 20 seconds from being done. The Observer being chronoed out, that takes 40 seconds, with Chrono a little bit faster. So the first Banshee making its way into the natural. Cloak will finish up in about 5 seconds. That Observer about to hit the field in about 10 seconds. So this is perfect timing on this build from Time.
Yeah, you're going to see that Banshee now pushing its way in, going to be able to get one probe, and perhaps get two probes, but that the Observer now moving out and will get spot, and now that Banshee taking a lot of damage already. That Banshee now trying to hide. It looks like it will be able to, but he doesn't know where the Observer is. The Observer is, as we all know, cloaked, and I know that Banshee now just needs to turn tail. He is sitting at only 17 energy, not that much energy left, and quickly losing another probe there. 4 kills for that Banshee, 200 resources for an essentially a very, very expensive cloaked unit that is being revealed.
Yeah, Time, a little bit of missed micro there. He did not follow that Banshee and lost an extra probe there. Now we have double Banshees coming in, so Time's really going to make sure have a number of Stalkers in the mineral line here. He has prepared for the Observer in position, so I'm not sure that these Banshees are going to have a route where they can get in here.
Yeah, the Banshees are now going after that lower hit point Stalker. It looks like it may lose that Sentry as well. And yeah, the Sentry does get taken down. And wow, not losing any of those Banshees. I liked what MarineKing did there. MarineKing repositioned his Banshees so that the Stalkers would auto-target the one that had more hit points. And you could see how much damage that one Banshee did receive, and was able to move away with the other Banshee, and now going to just do a nice repair job on those Banshees, and they will be able to return to the battlefield.
Yeah, definitely being very cost efficient with those. We see Time has a probe down in the natural of MarineKing, so he's going to know exactly when he's going to be expanding. And MarineKing at this point not working on another command center, so it looks like it's going to be transitioning into this this Marine, Cloak Banshee, and tank play. Siege Tech has finished, and Time coming out the Immortal. Right now he has 2 Immortals, so if he's able to focus down those tanks, he could fend this off, but that is a lot of Marines.
Yeah, that is a lot of Marines, but I'm not sure if Stim was ever researched. You can see the Marines are now making their way, or moving out 2,200 minerals, 675 gas versus 2,01050. This is going to be a very, very close matchup, and it will be whether or not Time is in position, and I don't think he will be, as the Banshees may move him out of position. A Guardian or Sentry now going to get taken down. Down it goes before any force fields, and now in comes the counterattack, and the siege tanks were already sieged up, ready to go and shell out some damage there. This is going to be painful, as now the siege tanks are going to be playing hopscotch and slowly pushing their way forward.
Yeah, these Marines going to be dangling in here, trying to bait some units, and now Time going to be pushing forward here. The Immortals need to focus down the siege tanks, not those Marines, and it looks like a number of probes being pulled off the line, forcing those Marines to try to micro back. 2 siege tanks do go down, another one going to be shelled a little bit here, and Time has saved his Immortals. Losing all those probes, though, he might be in trouble.
Yeah, but if you take a look at the Harvester count, 24 to 24, so it is pretty even, but he cannot afford to lose this expansion. If he loses this expansion, he's going to be in a world of hurt. He does have a lot of gateways, but he doesn't have the economy in order to support it, and now MarineKing, after dealing that devastating blow, we'll see what he tries to follow this up with.
Yeah, now it looks like Time going to try to move in here with all these units. The siege tanks are on siege. Needs to be focusing down those with the Immortals. Quickly focused down by the Marines, though. And now I think Marine Prime might have won this one, as the remaining units of Time going down. And a GG coming from Time. MarineKing being the ace for Team Prime and winning Wednesday Night Starcraft 4-3.
Yeah, so MarineKing coming in as the ace, playing as the ace he is, and was able to shut down Time.
Yeah, pretty interesting build there. Relatively standard with that siege tank, Cloak Banshee, and Marine play. We've seen that before. Obviously, it did a little bit of harassment with those Cloak Banshees first, but just really strong play. One base play from MarineKing Prime. Made quick work of Time, but obviously a very strong showing from vVv Gaming. I'm sure nobody expected them to make this so close and even force MarineKing to play.
Yeah, so for all you haters out there who didn't think that vV Gaming would win a game. I hope that this encourages you to watch and come back to, again next week, where vV Gaming will be challenging up another clan. And if you are part of a clan and want to challenge vV Gaming, go ahead and just visit the forums. And I know vV Gaming does have a website. You can post challenges there. And I think every week it is going to be a new clan.
Yeah, I think Vile Gaming should be next one, so that'll be another fun one. Vile has a lot of recognizable players. Vile Psy, Vile, they've got a number of Terrans as well. So I think that should be a good one. Tune in next week, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, as vVv Gaming hosts Wednesday Night Starcraft.